Hey guys, here are game features that I'm hoping to see again in World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. Some of these I'm hoping to continue on from Legion, and others I'm hoping to return from other expansions. Let's get into it. First up, the original stat panel. When Legion launched, they reduced the amount of information about your character available in the base stats panel. They did this in order to reduce the amount of information a new player is faced with, so they can feel less overwhelmed when starting. While I understand their motives, I disagree with it because they didn't actually remove those values from how your characters work. For example, your weapon speed for a warrior still plays a vital role in how much DPS you can do. All they did was hide that number, but if a player wants to understand how their equipment plays into their stats, and how they can better their ability to play a character, they would need to go and get an add-on just to know that number. The add-on that I'm using for this is Deja Character Stats. Currently, I'm unaware of any other add-on that does this. So if you want access to more information about your character, you'll need to go and get a third-party add-on for something that's just hidden in the game. The Mythic Plus system. Mythic Plus is something that has become beloved by a majority of the player base. It has added a few different forms of gameplay to the previously desolate dungeon system. Players now have multiple reasons to continue completing dungeons in the endgame, instead of just using them for leveling and entry-level gear, and never using them again. Ever. First, it fosters a sense of competition. Player groups can compete with other player groups for realm best times for the completion of keys. Players can also have a sense of friendly competition to compete with each other to complete the highest key that they can that week. Second, Mythic Plus has provided a way for raiders to get high quality gear, even if they didn't get any gear in raid that week. This helps them progress further as a team and eventually defeat a boss that they had been struggling with. Finally, it provides some challenging content for players who don't have enough time to raid. WoW has been around for a long time, and some players who could commit more time to raid before may not be able to now. They may have a different job, or children, or another real-world commitment that is important to them. This doesn't mean that they don't crave a worthy challenge at the end game. World Quests. World Quests, in my opinion, are a better form of the old daily quest system. They are not obligatory to do, minus 1 or 2 quests in your Order Hall campaign, and provide a way for your character to progress outside of raiding or PvP. World Quests are also a great economic stimulator for the game, since some provide materials that are valuable and can then be sold on the auction house. World Quests are also just a great way to get back out into the game world instead of queuing for content all the time. And then you get really bored in queue, and so you go and you look at memes. Battleground Holidays. It used to be back when I started playing in late Burning Crusade that there were weekends that provided extra honor from certain battlegrounds. I feel like this is a really good way to get players to do battlegrounds they might not do otherwise. A lot of people blacklist certain battlegrounds in their queue because their faction loses it a majority of the time. However, if say Warsong Gulch was the battleground weekend, I think a ton of PvP players would still do Warsong Gulch, just for the honor. Who knows? Maybe you'll even begin to like it. Craftable shoulder inscriptions. In Wrath of the Lich King, when they introduced the inscriptionist profession, inscriptionist could make shoulder inscriptions for your armor. This would provide some benefit like any other enchant. The reason why it's on this list is because it was taken away somewhere around Cataclysm and never returned. This is bad because the inscriptionist's big purpose was their shoulder enchants and their glyphs. Taking away the enchants meant taking away half of the reason to do that profession in the first place. PvP Brawls. PvP Brawls are simply fun in my opinion. They take battlegrounds and make them into crazy minigame style battlegrounds with wacky rules. Raids of people in small team arena matches? Yep. Having a battle in the blizzard with no visibility? Fighting in the twisting nether with random gravity lapses? Oh yeah! I've had some of the most fun this expansion in Brawls, so I really want to see them come back. The screenshot of the day. Submit screenshots to the World of Warcraft website team, and they would pick a screenshot of the day to showcase on their website. Sometimes it would be an epic guild boss kill screenshot. Sometimes it was a panoramic vista of the world at sunset. And sometimes it was a ton of gnomes fishing in the enemy capital with just underwear on. The screenshot of the day was a beautiful and fun way for the player base to contribute to a common sense of community by sharing their in-game experiences with pictures. More gem slots on gear. In previous expansions, a lot of the top-end gear had gem slots. These were parts of the gear where you could add a gem with a stat bonus to your armor to make it more powerful. Over the years, they have drastically decreased the amount of gem slots that are on gear. At the moment, RNG decides if a piece of gear has a gem slot. The only pieces of gear that are guaranteed to have a gem slot are legendary rings and necklaces, which a player can only equip 2 legendary armor pieces at a time. This not only made jewel crafting more of a rarity profession, but impacted player experience in my opinion. Having gems made me feel like now my adventurer has made their magical gear not only more visibly pleasing, but powerful through means of enchanted gems. By this, their enemies can see on sight the subtle glow of power in the foe they face. Enemy capital raids. I'd like to see enemy capital raids again. There really is no reason at the moment to go and kill the enemy leaders. I feel this is because the battleground queuing system exists, so getting a bunch of honor is more easily acquired through joining with people through an instance system than trying to get a raid together. However, I feel it's a ton more fun to go and try to take down the enemy in their own house. It's intimidating enough to give you goosebumps when you see 200 horde players in a city at a given time. Or, you know, if you're horde, I guess, I don't know, is Alliance intimidating? I mean, we have gnomes, and they're kind of cute. But the revamp the world PvP system, with all servers having PvP capacity, gives me hope. And I'm excited to see if this ever makes a comeback. That's what I'm hoping to see next expansion. Let me know what you're hoping for in the comments section below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.